I'm a soft touch.
Skin Quencher.
Introducing Skin Quencher, new from Chapstick. Skin Quencher is the soft, fragrance-free lotion drenched with moisturizers to help skin feel younger. Every soft touch.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the
Well, sometimes the nicest effect can be gotten from the most simplest approach, and the most simple approach, if we use correct English. Susan Bennett, the wife of Flames forward Kurt Bennett, a cappella with our national anthem. 15,141 the sellout. The Flyers have not dressed Barry Ashby, still with that aching shoulder, and Billy Clement. And Atlanta is without the services of Doug Mones, Lou Morrison, Leon Rochefort, Ed Kia, and Eric Vale. The referee is Wally Harris, the linesman Willard Norris, and Neil Armstrong. The Flyers hoping to make a series sweep. Atlanta hoping to extend it to a fifth game on Monday in Philadelphia. This afternoon, one game, the New York Rangers evened out their set at 2 games apiece, with Montreal beating Canadiens 6-4. Last night, Chicago, despite a playoff low all-time record of only 10 shots on goal, beat LA 1-0, have a chance to wrap that one up tonight. Boston beat Toronto 6-3. They have a chance to wrap that one up tonight. The clock line against Hextall, and for the first period, let's go Flyers and let's go Don Earl.
Thank you, Gene, and once again, a pleasant good evening, one and all. Clark against Brian Hextall. Flyers moving from right to left, from left to right as Clark gets the draw, but it's right on the stick of Bob Murray, controlled by Noel Price across the way. Up to McCurry's broken up by Barber, does get a piece of it and winds up behind the Flyer net. Left there for Ed Van Imp. Waiting out front is Brian Hextall. Feeds off to Jimmy Watson on the left wing. A head intended for Barber, but deflects to center ice, picked up by Clark from Barber. Cuts around Como. Como breaks up Bobby Clark at the line with help from Bob Murray, and we've got a delay offside call. Intercepted by Clark, and we've got an offside finally whistled against the Flyers with a face-off in neutral ice. During every Flyer game, each Flyer that scores a goal receives a free case of Tasty Cake, plus one for Catholic Home for Girls, 29th and Allegheny Avenue in Philadelphia. Hextall against Clark outside the Atlanta line. And it's going to be a very vociferous capacity crowd here as the Flames are trying to get something going early. A drive by McCurry, stopped by Perrant. The rebound to Jimmy Watson on the far side. Up to Barber, broken up by Price. Puck comes to center ice. Price dumps it right back in again. There was a Flame in the zone when the puck came back in, but play is allowed to continue. Watson gets by Price, feeds off the flat, but it's intercepted, and here comes Como. Como caught from behind by Barber. Como coughs it up to Van Imp in the Flyer zone. Off the far boards for Clark at center. To Barber breaking. Going to have to do it alone. He's tripped up, and Noel Price is going to be going off at 1:09 of the first period of play. And with 18:51 to go, there's no score.
Back here in Atlanta, Billy Barber went 1-on-4 and drew the penalty from Noel Price at 1:09 for hooking. Flyers, who have hit 3 of 12 power play opportunities, get a shot here early in the game, and getting the first goal has been the key. The Flyers, in fact, in each game have gotten at least the first 2.
Pittsburgh minor officials again working tonight's game here in Atlanta. Flett back to Barber at the left, point off the far boards for McLeish. Into Clark. Clark in the far circle. Back to Bladen. The shot. Kick save. Fired by McLeish on the rebound, and he missed. Kept in by Bladen, deep in the right wing corner. He battles Quinn for it. Clark has it. Clark banks it off the boards. Back to Flett, who's filled the vacated right point position to Clark. Halfway down the right wing boards, across to McLeish. Tries to throw it in front to Bladen, but it's blocked out by Maneri. Good setup by the Flyers. Good defense by Atlanta. Here's Clark. Out front, cleared out of the crease by Pat Quinn. Clark gets it back again. Bouncing puck knocked down by McLeish. McLeish in the left wing corner comes up the boards toward the point. Circles, looking for the open man. Barber starts to cut. Back to Flett. He unloads. It's wide. Rebound to McLeish along the far boards. He taps it back to Barber. Left point. Through a screen. It's wide. Flyers are buzzing but not getting anything going on the scoreboard. McLeish, as we're down at 1:02 left on the penalty to Price. Puck behind the net. Clark has it for the Flyers. Out front, right on the stick of Hextall, and he clears the length of the ice. There's a lot of empty seats here, but they're all sold. 15,141, and it sounds like 30 in our headset. As Lonsbury now on with the Flyers with Barber and Nolay and Dornhofer. Dumped in on Mir on a one-hop bouncer that's smothered by Mir as three Flyers, Barber, Nolay, and Lonsbury come in a wave, and the puck is tied up for face-off to the left of Mir.
Flyers worked the puck very well that time and had the Flames scrambling, and after the first good save, it appeared Rick McLeish from Mir's right had the strongest opportunity and fired wide. 34 seconds remaining on Price's penalty. We played 2:35 of a scoreless first period.
Brian Hextall and Ray Como stay as the penalty killers on for the Flames. Dornhofer battles Maneri for the puck against the Flames backboard, comes to the near boards. Lonsbury bumps Hextall to DuPont, back to Lonsbury. Lonsbury deep in the right wing corner. Dornhofer coming out of the corner, still controlling. In front to Nolay. His shot is wide to the glove side. And Lonsbury is taken down hard by Pat Quinn. And Lonsbury retaliates. Now Dornhofer closing, puts it across in front as the work in front of the Atlanta net is ferocious. Here comes Como. He's stopped at the Flyer line. Como drops the puck off. He's bumped down to the ice hard by Dornhofer. DuPont from outside. Karam comes out to Jean Lemieux as both teams are back at full strength. Price is out. DuPont can't keep the puck in the zone. Here comes Hextall, 2-on-1. Hextall across the rubber, check, scores! And the first time in this series that Atlanta has scored the first goal of the game. DuPont was caught deep in the Flame zone, and that set up the 2-on-1.
Time down that the Flyers got careless by gambling and really got burned as they got caught up ice. And a fine shot by Romanchuk. During the regular season, he had hurt the Flyers by scoring against them 3 goals and an assist.
So the Atlanta Flames take an early 1-goal lead here in the first period of play as Selesky dumps the puck back to center ice. Kindrachuk is broken up. And this Atlanta Flame club has caught fire as Tom Lysiak hits Kindrachuk from behind. It's Kurt Bennett on the right wing, intercepted by Van Imp in the Flyer zone, just dumps it to center ice. Flyers gambled there, and it backfired on them. Jimmy Watson was the lone defenseman back and could not cover both men. Van Imp on the near boards drills it ahead for Selesky as the Flames battle to keep the puck in the zone. Now it's Kindrachuk. Kindrachuk takes an elbow from Lysiak. Play continues. This could be another rough one as it was the other night. Now Schultz down below us slams into someone as play is called. And here's the announcement on the Romanchuk goal.
Pick it up. Hextall will get 1 assist. And
second of the playoffs, the assist, number 20, Brian Hextall.
that was the key play as Hextall made the perfect move on the left wing. And Como.
The time, 3:28. Romanchuk from Hextall and Como.
So Atlanta
gets center ice. Romanchuk, Lysiak against Kindrachuk. And now here comes Jean Lemieux. Across the line, Watson dumps it right back to center ice. Kept in now by Lemieux. But offside, and a good call it was, as that puck did come out across the line and went back in again. Lysiak disagrees with linesman Willard Norris to the chorus of boos from the Flames partisans here at the Omni. Lysiak flanked by Richard on the left wing. Kurt Bennett, normally a center, playing on the right wing. On the faceoff, controlled by the Flyers, Joe Watson flips it, intended for Dave Schultz, but it goes into the Flyer bench area. And Coach Mike Nikolic, assistant coach Mike Nikolic, who's acting coach tonight, flips the puck right back on the ice.
And that's the thing that set the Atlanta team up during the season, catching breaks and capitalizing. And we said the Flyers had played flawless up to tonight, and then they made the mistake and got burned.
Puck back in play as Lemieux fires into the Flyers zone. Van Impe returns it. This will be icing against the Flyers as Artie Brown comes back to touch up. Face off in the Flyer zone down to our left.
There's a fifth game, or when the next time the Flyers are home, you can pick up your Stanley Cup record book, which is available now. It's just crammed full of everything that you want to know about the postseason bash. It's $1.50, or if you'd like to acquire it through the mail, write for the playoff book to the Flyers souvenir department, adding 50 cents for mailing plus that $1.50.
Face off to the right of Perrant. Richard battles Selesky for it as they hold each other. Lysiak moves in, and it's immediately tied up. And, Gene, I have the feeling this thing could get out of hand if Wally Harris doesn't close the door quickly.
And we've got a Selesky penalty for holding as we have 15-17 remaining in the first period, 1-0 Atlanta. First penalty for holding at 4:43. Flames already lead 1-0, and they're 0 for 17 on the power play.
And at this time on Friday night, well, say for about 19 seconds, the Flyers led 2-0. And goals by Selesky and a power play goal by Clark. And now it's the Flyers on a power play. Lysiak up to Richard on the left wing. He retreats back to his own line, trying to get some daylight. Feeds back to Lysiak. He flips it to the right wing corner in the Flyers zone. Joe Watson looking to clear. Comes back to the right point. Maneri holding there. Drives through a screen. It's wide. Comes back to Lysiak. He drives. And Van Impe almost set up the screen as Lysiak tried to use it. Here's Romanchuk back to Lysiak. Deep in the left wing corner, Richard. Richard still holding. Back to Lysiak. Lysiak fakes a pass to the right point. Blocked off by Clark. Cleared up to Barber. One-on-one Maneri. The lone man back. Barber trying to go wide. Now retreats back to center ice. Tries to feed into Clark before he left the zone, but it's broken up by Randy Maneri. Clark runs right into Leader. Steals the puck. And dumps it all the way back to DuPont at the Flyer line. 1:03 left on the penalty to Don Selesky. Bladen, long lead pass, knocked down at the line by Romanchuk, fled almost stealing. And now it's Lysiak winding up out of his own zone. Right wing pass to Romanchuk. Romanchuk spins away from the tight checking of Crisp. Weak pass off to Richard, fires from long range, wide of the Flyer net, but gloved anyway by Perrant. Perrant almost put it on Lysiak's stick, and now it's DuPont trying to shake Leader. DuPont off the backhand, kept in by Lysiak. Broken up by DuPont, and he gets the puck to center ice, recaptured by Tom Lysiak. Down to 25 seconds left on the penalty to Selesky. Crisp and Flett, the penalty killers. John Stewart from outside. The rebound gloved on the carom off the boards by Perrant. Around to Crisp. Crisp trying to clear. Bounces to center ice. Leader will have to hold there as Crisp gets another piece of it and dumps it into the Atlanta zone. Flyers will be back at full strength in 5 seconds. Lysiak feeds off to Maneri coming up the right side. Ahead for McDonough now to Leader. Leader dumps it in as Selesky is out. The Flyers are back at full strength, and Atlanta is 0 for 18 on the power play. Flett hit hard in the corner by McDonough and by Leader. And, Gene, I have that feeling.
Yeah, I think the residue of last night is still there, or for Friday night is still there, and both teams are very testy as they go into the corners and bump shoulders as they move off. Penalty is over. We've had one on each side. Both teams pressing on the power play, neither clicking, but in between at 3:28 on a 3-on-1 break. Romanchuk from Hextall and Como, 1-0 Atlanta. Second goal for Romanchuk in the series.
We're down to 13:09 left in first period play. First time that the Flyers have not scored the first goal in the first 2 goals of the game. McLeish on the far wing gets to center ice around Al McDonough. Looks for Dornhoefer. Has to catch it with his skate. Picked up by McLeish. McLeish trying to get a shot off. Spun around and finally does get it away, but Meir makes the stop and leaps out to tie it up.
Mir, of course, as we said earlier, despite giving up 9 goals in the 2 games in Philadelphia, played awfully well, and it was the consensus on opening night that without his fine play, could have been much more serious. That time, Stewart almost picked up a penalty for hooking, but none called.
Face-off to the left of Mir as Como now is waved out of the face-off circle by Neil Armstrong. You'll notice most of the successful center icemen, and they admitted, Gene, do cheat a bit on those face-offs.
Well, you know, they made the rule that there's not supposed to be contact between the two, but more and more you see it coming.
On the face-off, bouncing puck as Stewart goes for it along with McLeish. Hit hard by Dornhofer. Noel Price leads Como, and the pass is behind him. Bladen controls for the Flyers. Tries to lead McLeish. This is going to be an icing call against the Flyers as Bob Murray touches up behind his own net. Face-off in the Flyers zone down to our left.
Game 5, if it's necessary, played at the Spectrum on Tuesday evening at 8. Radio coming your way on WCAU beginning at 7:55 of the pregame show. Game 6 back here as Bernie Geoffrion looks on from his bench, and Mike Nicolak substituting for the ailing Fred Sherrill on his way back to Philadelphia.
Face-off in the circle to the right of Perrant as McLeish and Leader are both waved out. So it's going to be Romanchuk and Lonsbury who'll take the draw for the Flames and the Flyers respectively. Dornhofer comes in now from the position along the boards to the inner part of the circle. Loose puck, Dornhofer trying to dig it loose. Back passes to the far corner for Jimmy Watson. Watson checked tightly by Bob Leader. Stolen by Romanchuk, throws it in front, but the only one there was Van Imp. And now it's Van Imp. Lead pass that Lonsbury can't handle, and back comes Bobby Leader. Dornhofer got a piece of him, just dumps the puck in the zone, and Van Imp returns it to Dornhofer. He's tied up by Murray. Can't get loose as Murray had an arm hold on him, and it's now controlled by Noel Price behind his own net. Up to Murray. Murray dumps it back, and Dornhofer almost got there before Price did. Price leads Leader, coming out of his own zone to Stewart on the left wing. Stewart's got a good shot, deflected to the right wing corner for Romanchuk. Romanchuk trying to throw it out front. Lonsbury gets it loose, but Stewart intercepts. Now it's taken away by Jimmy Watson. Jimmy Watson up the right lane. Flips a backhander ahead for Dornhofer, ahead to McLeish. Going inside Price. Cuts around Romanchuk, and we've got an Atlanta penalty coming up, and I believe it's going to be on Larry Romanchuk. It's on the delay as Jimmy Watson rags the puck at center ice. Looking to take full advantage of that 6th player. Here's Clark busting through. Doesn't take the shot because the offside's been called. With 11:28 to go in the first period, it's Flames 1, Flyers nothing.
There are lots of good things.
It was Romanchuk as McLeish tried to caddy course past him that pulled him down for the penalty. The Flames' second of the game for Romanchuk, his second of the series. 8:32 on the Flyers with a power play and trail 1-0.
Clark between McLeish and Flett with Bladen and Barber at the points. Bladen has it at center ice at the red line, crosses to Barber on the far side. Hextall on Barber. Barber inside of his own line finds Clark open. Clark shakes Como. Up to Bill Flett, who takes it as he changed sticks in his hand to McLeish, and a sweep check by Maneri breaks the play up all the way back to the Flyers' corner. Randy Maneri has played a steady series, Gene.
I think probably the most consistent performer that they've had.
By Maneri. Stick save, Perrant. Maneri stole inside the Flyers' line. Now McLeish wheeling through center ice across the line to Clark deep in the left wing corner. Tries to throw it out front. Almost went in as Mir had to move quickly to cover that short side post.
Deflected off Quinn off to the side from Clark's good effort along the left wing boards and down behind the net. Clark again putting a little extra drive on Maneri and had him turned as he drove past him into the corner. McLeish was bumped by Quinn, and Quinn inadvertently had that go off his stick a second time in on Mir, with McLeish right behind looking for the loose puck. 1:22 on the penalty.
Flyers trail 1-0, trying to get something on the scoreboard and make this a brand new hockey game. Loose puck, Clark, and Flett is taken down by Como. Drive by Bladen. Knocked down by Clark. He got a piece of it, but Mir makes the save. McLeish back to Barber. He closes the shot. Great glove save as Mir does the split about 3 feet in front of the Atlanta crease.
The reason for the split, of course, is enabling you to get that arm down low and quickly, and also to protect that area under the glove. Good save by Mir.
Off the face-off with 1:07 left on the penalty. Clark back to the left point. Barber off the left wing boards for Clark halfway to the corner. Back to Barber at the point. Now Clark's deep in the corner, comes up the boards. Centering pass intercepted by Maneri, and he banks it off the near boards back to the Flyers zone. Perrant skates up the slot to the near circle to drop it out for Barber as we're down to 47 seconds remaining on the penalty to Romanchuk. This is the second power play opportunity of the game for the Flyers. Price for hooking and now Romanchuk for tripping. Barber carries to center, fires to the right wing corner. The carom taken off the boards by Como. Checked out the puck by Barber. McLeish trying to steal. He's got it. He's tied up by Randy Maneri against the boards. Kicks it loose, but the whistle blows before he has a chance to kick it loose. Now Como wants a piece of Clark, and if Clark's smart, he'll back off.
Yeah, I think that wouldn't be a fair trade. 26 seconds remaining on the penalty to Larry Romanchuk. Flyers coming into this particular penalty were 3 for 13 on the power play, with Bladen, Jimmy Watson, and Clark getting the power play goals. Nole, Lonsbury, and Dornhofer, the second unit out, with Jimmy Watson and DuPont. 9:53 remaining in the first period. Romanchuk the goal, and it's 1-0 Atlanta.
9:53 to go in first period play. Face off in the circle to the right of Phil Meir. Hextall against Lonsbury, controlled by Maneri. Maneri around to the near side. DuPont trying to keep it in. Bumps Como, and Lonsbury covers up at the point. Gets his drive away. Deep rebound right on the stick of Hextall. And here come the Flames. Hextall has Como on the left wing. Hextall pulls up short. Dumps it back to center ice as Lemieux is broken up. Nole has a breakaway. Nole trying to go in on the backhand. Is taken down by Quinn, and no penalty is called. Wally Harris blew that one. Puck kept in by Jimmy Watson. Centering pass intercepted by Como. And both teams are back at full strength. DuPont fires from long range. Glove save as Nole had a breakaway and was cut down from behind. Quinn winds it around to the near side for Stewart. DuPont can't get it by Stewart. Now it's at center ice as Hextall broke the puck loose. Fed to the far boards intended for Nole, but Lemieux gets it to center ice. Here comes Romanchuk. Fires to the Flyers left wing corner. Bouncing puck picked up by Perrant. Scoops it behind the net for DuPont. Now it's Dornhofer breaking in the right wing up to Lonsbury. Lonsbury to Barber on the left wing. Barber gets a shot away, knocked down by Meir. Cleared behind the net for Lemieux. Lemieux checked hard by Dornhofer. Here comes Bobby Leader. Leader slowed down, and Barber is going to get a penalty. Barber is going to go off for the Flyers, and the Flames will have their second power play opportunity of the first period. And so with 8:35 to go in the first period, it's still 1-0 Flames.
Billy Barber that time, as Bob Leader got past him, pulled him around with a stick and drew an obvious call. His third minor of the series comes at 11:25 for hooking. Power play Atlanta. They're 0 for 18.
Face off in the circle to the left of Perrant. Leader back passes kept in by Lemieux. Lemieux halfway down the right wing boards for Romanchuk. Back to Lemieux. Left point Lysiak. Down in the left wing corner, Richard holding halfway up the top of the circle, looking for the open man. Romanchuk open in the left wing corner, takes the feed. Bouncing puck cleared off his stick by Perrant. Richard gets it right back, flips it around for Lemieux. Lemieux penetrates deep in the right wing corner, around to the left wing, but Flett's going to intercept, and he clears the length of the ice. Flyers have Barber off for hooking. He's got 1:20 left on his penalty. Starting the rush for the Flames is Lysiak. Up to Richard. Richard lead pass too far for Leader to reach. DuPont backs up into his own zone, finds an opening along the far side, and banks it off the left wing boards to the Flames backboards. Flyers now go with DuPont and Joe Watson as Mike Nikolak is short shifting his defense. Here's Lysiak getting by DuPont. Unwinds off the glove hand and hits the backboard behind Perrant. That could have been dangerous. Here's Richard putting it around behind the net. And Perrant tips it by Romanchuk. A good move by Perrant as Flett clears to center ice. We're down to 40 seconds left on the penalty. Here's Lemieux across the line with Richard breaking. The drive, glove save, Perrant. Now Watson feeds to the near boards. Lysiak at the left point. Feeds deep in the corner. Perrant cuts off McDonough. DuPont battles for the puck with Leader as we're down to 23 seconds. And it's cleared out of the Flyer zone of the Flames corner. And Lemieux will start what could be the final rush on this power play for Atlanta. Now it's Lysiak. Out to center ice. Picks up speed as he hits the red line. Slowed down by DuPont. Loose puck. Perrant out. Can't clear. Clears to the far corner instead. Lonsbury to McLeish, and he golfs at it the length of the ice. Barber is back. The Flyers are at full strength, and it's going to be icing against the Flyers.
Well, Bernie Perrant has done that several times this year and almost gotten burned by letting that puck bounce near him. We'd like to welcome WCAU Radio aboard after Phillies baseball. The score 1-0. A quick recap. Romanchuk, the Atlanta goal at 3:28, a second of the series from Hextall and Como. There have been 4 penalties, evenly divided, 2 apiece, all minors and none involved in the scoring. We have 6:28 to go in the first period. Flyers out shooting Atlanta 9-7.
Face off in the circle to the left of Bernie Perrant. Ray Como facing off for the Atlanta Flames. Terry Crisp for the Flyers, and apparently Bob Kelly, who's now on for his first shift, is noted for a face-off circle violation. All set to go now. It's going to be Crisp against Como. On the face-off, controlled by the Flames. Como centering pass cleared by DuPont to Kelly. Crisp to center ice. Picked up by Nole. Bounces one in wide of Mir. Bob Murray takes it off the backboards up to McDonough. He's checked by Kelly, and we've got a face-off coming up in the Atlanta zone as we're down to 6:12 left in first period play.
Quite a counterpart out there. Kelly on one side and Nole on the other. They're in opposite wings, and they certainly have opposite philosophies of how to play this game.
Well, opposites attract, and maybe they complement each other. On the face-off, puck bounces to the near boards, picked up by Butch Deadmarsh, and he rolls at the length of the ice, and it's going to be icing as soon as Joe Watson touches up. Face-off will be back in the Atlanta zone. Flyers trail 1-0. Larry Romanchuk, his second series goal from Hextall and Como, as Como set off a 2-on-1 break with Jimmy Watson, the lone defenseman, back, and it came at 3:28 of this, the first period of play.
We might again add that Fred Shero, under the weather, what appeared to be a mugging late last night here in Atlanta, sent back to Philadelphia. He's fine. Mike Nicolak handling the coaching chores.
Deadmarsh into the face-off circle a bit too quick. On the draw, it comes back to Nole. Wheels and fires. Here's Kelly closing. He's broken up by Bob Murray. Murray off the stick of Deadmarsh. Picked up by Como. Lead pass is behind McDonough, but he can't control it. We looked for an offside call, but Norris gave the safe sign. And now it's Kelly behind the Flyer net with Joe Watson, and Simone Nole has it. Returns the pass to the far corner. Como, right on the stick of Crisp, just dumps it to center ice. Bob Murray at the red line, waits for his teammates to clear, and then winds it around the Flyer boards. Picked up by Joe Watson, feeds off to Kelly on the left wing. Kelly off the skate of Nole. He's bumped off the puck by Deadmarsh, and here comes Bob Murray. Murray up to Como. The drive, glove save, Perrant. Perrant clears to the left wing boards, gets by Selesky, kept in by Price. Perrant behind his net again. Almost collides with defenseman Ed Van Imp. Just over 5 minutes left in first period play. Van Imp sees Selesky breaking, can't reach him. No icing as Mir goes in after it. He's checked from behind by Kurt Bennett. Is Selesky. Here's Kindrachuk. The shot. Great save, Mir, as Selesky was camped right in front. And the puck is cleared by Van Imp. The length of the ice, and it's going to be icing, yes, against the Flames with a face-off down to our right.
Well, there Atlanta made a very bad mistake. An errant pass from their own corner right out to near the blue line, and Kindrachuk picked it up going the right way as far as Philadelphia was concerned, and Mir had to be good as Selesky, realizing the O had the shot, tried to cut it front, did screen. The Mir with the pad and stick covered the left side, the near side of the net, as Kindrachuk was on looking for the tying goal. 4:44 remaining first period, and the Flames lead at 1-0.
To the left of Mir, Kindrachuk against Tom Lysiak. On the face-off, controlled by the Flames as Brown takes it behind his own net. Feeds off to Lemieux. Lemieux tries to lead Lysiak. It gets by him, and Van Imp puts it right back in the Atlanta corner. Behind the net now, Mir for Arnie Brown. Brown up the right side, checked tightly by Kindrachuk. Intercepted by Jimmy Watson, and he rips it right back into the right wing corner. Schultz cutting inside of Brown. Schultz taken down. Puck is loose. Selesky goes in. Richard trying to get loose. Takes it behind his own net. Starts out the right side. Gets by Schultz. Gets by Kindrachuk. Here comes Jacques Richard. Can't get his shot away as Van Imp and Jimmy Watson team up to break up the play. Here's Kindrachuk on the left wing. Kindrachuk upended by Lysiak, or attempts to, and Lysiak himself goes down. Joe Watson from long range, high in the air. to deep center field, Gene, as Meir had to wait for an eternity for that puck to come down.
It's rare that you'll have one go that high on an attempted shot and not go out of the rink, but Meir had to wait for it to come down, and the infield fly was called. So Joe Watson is out, at least on the bench, and the faceoff will be deep in Atlanta's zone to the right of Meir.
1-0 Flyers trail. Larry Romanchuk's second series goal coming at 3:28. We've got 3:46 left in first period action. Bobby Clark off the faceoff, and a save by Phil Meir will do it again.
On the glass, just to the left.
Rangers 6, Montreal 4, an afternoon game of the week. And what we saw is a rather loosely played game, defensively at least. On the faceoff, Clark rolls it in front, but Pat Quinn intercepts. Dumps it to center ice, tried to hit Como with a pass. Knocked down by Clark. And the Flames regain control. Hextall broken up. Barber has it. Double teamed. Puts it into the right wing corner. And now it's Pat Quinn. Quinn dumps it to center ice. Bladen has it. Dumps it right back in again. Quinn drops it back for Maneri. Maneri up to Hextall. Hextall pass intercepted by Barber, and he winds it right back in again. Meir leads it for Maneri this time. Maneri starts out the right side. The cheer is for Bobby Clark being taken down in the Atlanta zone. Now it's Joe Watson intercepting. Clark holds with Watson on the left. Clark winds up and drives. Great glove save, and again, Meir doing the split in front of the Atlanta crease.
You know, it's you can't question success, but Donnie's there with the body, and then he splits his body away and reaches out with a glove, which leaves less net. 2:59 remaining first period, 1-0 Atlanta. The Philadelphia Wings open the period, still 1-0 Atlanta. Flyers in the flame zone with a draw.
To the right of Phil Meir, it's going to be McLeish against leader. Lonsbury on the left wing battles Romanchuk for it. Lonsbury has it, takes it to the corner. Centering pass right off the goalpost. Comes back to Bladen. Through a screen, way up back, a souvenir for the fans behind the Atlanta net. Face-off will be outside the Atlanta blue line as it hit a Flyer stick on the way in.
Willard Norris again showed why he has done more linesman games than anybody else in history, and soon will be on his way in playoffs to that position.
I think you mean Neil Armstrong, don't you, Gene?
That's what I said.
You said Willard Norris.
Oh, I said Norris? All
right,
Armstrong. But he made the quick call that McLeish made the play on the puck to bring it to center ice.
Bob Murray from the red line winds it behind the Flyer net, picked up there by Joe Watson as forechecking tenaciously is Larry Romanchuk. Watson now double teamed. Puck still in play. Intercepted now by Murray and re-intercepted by McLeish. McLeish gets to center. 3-on-2 developing. McLeish going wide on Lemieux, and he's taken down by Lemieux, and he's going out. And so the Flyers again on the power play advantage with a face-off in the Atlanta zone. It could be for hooking or tripping. We'll wait for the official call. It comes at 17:42.
Bob later picks up the penalty for hooking. Rick McLeish, and for leader in the game so far, he picks up his first statistic, a penalty, and the Flyers have their third opportunity in the first period at the power play. It coming at 17:42, and Rick McLeish picked up the last penalty when he was pulled down by Romanchuk. 11:08 the shots, but 1-0 Atlanta. Flyers' first power play very, very crisp, and Meir had to be tough. The second one a little more disorganized.
Gene, you look at these penalties, and it should tell us something that players are getting by their man. You got holding, a couple of hookings, 3 hookings, and a tripping. This normally doesn't come unless someone is being outskated. Flyers on the power play now. Dornhofer puts it to Lonsbury in the left wing corner. Back to Dornhofer. Back to McLeish. Tries to turn the corner, but it's blocked out by Meir. Atlanta is sky high for this one, you can tell. Noel Price misfires on a back pass from Como, kept in by Bladen. McLeish tries to redirect it. Now Lonsbury takes it off the left wing corner boards. Puts it behind the net for Dornhofer. Dornhofer off the stick of Price as Lonsbury was the intended receiver. Lonsbury scoops it loose. Centering pass, no one's there. Bladen's going to take a drive. The drive knocked down and covered by Meir as he drops to both knees right in front of the Atlanta net.
Well, the Flyers keep hammering, and if you keep banging away, sooner or later they're going in. 3 for 12 coming into tonight's game, and after successfully banging off 2 penalties, Atlanta now has held off the Flyers 11 of 14 opportunities. About 1 in 5 the Flyers scoring, and that was just about their rate during the regular season. Clark out there now with Flett on the left side, Nole on the right. Bladen remains out on the right, Barber on the left. 1:17 left on the penalty, 1:35 in the period. 1-0 Flames.
Bernie Geoffrion coming back with the goaltender who played the best against the Flyers during regular season competition, Phil Meir. Brian Hextall gets the face-off and clears it the length of the ice. Perrant halfway up the slot, clears ahead for Barber coming back. Meir during the regular season play overall 3.33 average against the Flyers 2.60. Clark through center. Dumps it into the right wing corner. The carom taken off by Quinn. He fans on it. Clark, a backhander is wide as it missed the far post. Barber deep in the left wing corner as Flett's tied up by Maneri. Hextall trying to dig it loose. And we're going to get a whistle for a stoppage of play as we're down to 47 seconds left on the penalty to Bob Leader.
During the regular season, the Flames coughed up 46 power play goals and 223 opportunities, about 1 in 5.
Hextall against Bobby Clark as Clark is flanked by Nole and Flett on the wings. Cleared out of the Atlanta zone, the length of the ice. 1 minute left in the first period of play. Bladen behind his own net. Bladen waits for Clark to skate by, and he'll start the rush. Feeds ahead to Clark. Clark will look for the head man. Flett will have to hold up on the left wing. Rolls one in on Meir from the blue line. Meir hit from behind by Barber, and he pounces on the loose puck. And if you're wondering about goaltenders getting involved in action, they're just like any other player. Right, Gene?
Right. When they have the puck or just after they unload, they can be banged. Sort of a cardinal rule, you leave them alone, but occasionally one will get dusted by the likes of a Shack. That time Meir tried to control, lost it momentarily, and was bumped into by Billy Barber. Covered up the puck, though. 23 seconds on the penalty. 40 seconds in the period. 1-0 Atlanta Flyers in the Flame zone.
To the right of Phil Meir, Hextall. The draw control by Como. Just dumps it to center ice. Picked up there by Simone Nole. Deflected back to the Flyers zone. DuPont crosses to Joe Watson. Watson loses as Brian Hextall is bumped almost right in to the Flyers bench. Trainer Frank Lewis went over back into the stick rack behind him. And it's cleared the length of the ice once more as Leader is on his feet. Cleared away by Perrant into the seats as Leader comes on, and so Atlanta has killed out that penalty, and we're down to 13 seconds left in first period play.
Flyers tried to clear that. Did Bernie Perrant, and Hextall got a piece of it. Wally Harris signaled deflection, yet the play comes into the Flyer zone. Little men fight the giant battle at the Spectrum April 29th when the Monday night fights present North American junior lightweight champion Sammy Goss of Trenton against South Philadelphia's unbeaten sensation Tyrone Everett in a 12-round match for the North American lightweight championship. That's the junior variety. Goss, well, it's a great one. Tickets $5, $7, and $10 now on sale at the Spectrum. 13 seconds remaining in the period. Flames have an opportunity with a puck in the Philadelphia zone. And now realizing the 13 seconds left, the fans now saying, go Flames, go.
It's going to be Lysiak against Clark. Romanchuk back to his right point man, Jean Lemieux. Bill Flett tries to throw it out front as Lysiak is hit by Clark and spun to the ice. Picked up by DuPont. Fires at long range as the buzzer sounds. And at the end of the first period of play, the score is the Flames 1, the Flyers no score. Go Flyers.
It's Meir, Perrant of the Flyer net to our left. And for the third period, let's go Flyers and let's go Don Earl.
Thank you, Gene. And the Flyers will open the period on the power play. 1:53 to go on that penalty to Kurt Bennett. Flyers will move in this final, third period action from right to left. During playoffs, of course, you've got that sudden death playoff rule. Here's Dornhofer penetrating on the right wing. A shot deflected to the far corner. McLeish to Clark. Circling on the left wing boards. Comes to the middle to Bladen. Closing. Can't handle a pass. Bladen trying to dig it out of the right wing corner. Checked hard off the puck by Pat Quinn. Now it's McLeish. Into Clark. He overskates it back to Bladen at the right point. Blocked off by Lysiak. Across to Barber. Throw a screen. It's wide. Rebound comes to the near side. Bladen can't keep it in. Lysiak with Como trying to break. Bladen goes down. Como has it. Como pulls up short in the Flyer zone. And it's intercepted by McLeish as he comes back to help out. McLeish starts through center ice. Across the red line. Flips it wide of Meir to the left wing corner. Como taken down. Bouncing puck. McLeish puts it back for Clark, who's filled the left point across to Bladen. Gets the shot away. It's wide. Clark keeps it in at the left point. Into McLeish. Back to Clark. Clark looks. Winds it around into the corner for McLeish. McLeish checked out the puck by Maneri. Gets it back again. Flyers trying to close to within one. Into Barber. Closing. Right through the goal mouth. Bladen in the right wing corner. Puts it to McLeish. Deep in the corner. Back to Bladen. Fires. Into Dornhofer. Scores! Dornhofer for a case of Stacy Cake. A power play goal. And the Flyers have closed the lead to within one.
Well, they were laughing at Dornhofer. Had been dumped on his bottom in that far corner by Quinn. But Dornhofer never gives up. Got up. And was right off the side of that net. Blocked with his skate and then ripped it past Meir. He has 2 goals in the series. 1 a shorthanded and 1 a power play goal. And now his lifetime is 5. And the Flyers are within 1. The time of the goal at 1:16.
And for the Flyers, that's their 4th power play goal of the year, of the series. Bladen gets an assist, and McLeish gets the other one. So Dorney comes up with a key goal on the power play, and the Flyers trail now only 3-2. They're within 1 of tying. Price across to Quinn at center. He collides with Richard. Puck broken loose. And now a drive by Lysiak, and it goes over everything behind Parent. And the glass behind him into the seats will have a face-off outside the Flyers' blue line.
Well, that was a big play by Dornhofer. And the remarkable thing about Dorney so often, the punishment he takes, and not only that, but the thing that makes him such a fine player, particularly in playoffs, is he gets up no matter how many, Quinn's played dribble with him back there, knocked him down 30 times. Dornhofer would get up 30, and it pays off in plays like that as he was in proper position. Flyers' 4th power play goal of the series.
On the face-off as the Flyers now go with Kindrachuk, Barber, and Selesky, DuPont, and Jimmy Watson. DuPont up to Selesky. He's blocked out by Bob Murray at center ice on the right wing. Van Impe across on the left to Barber. Barber puts it right on the stick of Noel Price, but it's right back in the Flyers zone on the right wing. Off the right wing boards, Van Impe crosses to Jimmy Watson. Ahead to Kindrachuk at center. He bounces one from the red line to the Atlanta right wing corner. Selesky goes in with Lysiak. Barber's in the left wing corner. Selesky back to Jimmy Watson. Gets a shot away. Knocked down in front by Price. And cleared away by Lysiak for Richard. He's got Bennett with him. Richard's drive. A hard shot that's gloved by Parent. Jimmy Watson banks one off the far boards to center ice. Atlanta controls. Bob Murray puts it on the stick of Van Impe at the Flyer line to Kindrachuk to Lonsbury. Here's Lonsbury, but offside is the call against the Flyers as he tried to sneak through, but the puck came in behind him.
Well, I would think right now, Don, that the pressure has to be against Atlanta. And don't forget, if you plan on coming to the airport tonight to meet the Flyers charter when it returns, it will be a United charter. We ask that you do not park anywhere else except at the main parking terminal. And the plane is due to arrive, and we'll give you more information on that in a minute.
Face-off control by Lemieux. Takes it behind his own net. Off the right wing boards. Hits Wally Harris. Controlling is Lonsbury. Tried to feed Dornhofer. Breaking on the right, but Arnie Brown intercepts. Ahead for Stewart too far. DuPont gives out to McLeish as he comes back. McLeish from the right wing at center ice. Winds it behind the Atlanta net. Meir leaves it there for Brown. Brown up the right wing. Kindrachuk checked out the puck. McLeish into Lonsbury. Lonsbury looks. Shot. Rebound. And Dornhofer skated right by the rebound. Almost had the game tire. Here comes Stewart with Romanchuk. Stewart broken up by Joe Watson. Watson off the boards, but kept in by Brown. Look out. Skate save Parent on the short side. Now it's McLeish to center ice. Looks for Lonsbury. Hits him with the pass. Checked off the puck by Lemieux and picked up by Romanchuk. He spun around by Dornhofer, and back comes Lemieux. Lemieux just lifts the puck to center ice. Atlanta now will probably play dump it out more than they have prior to this period. Puck cleared from the Flyers zone by Joe Watson. Now picked up by Dave Schultz as Schultz and Hextall are back from their 5-minute fighting majors. Here's Flood on the right wing. Shot. Missed the far post. Clark on the left wing. Through a screen. Knocked down by Brown. Brown broken up by Flat. Picked up by Schultz. Schultz into Clark. Behind the back, but he missed the far post. Atlanta trying to clear out, and they do. Bobby Leader taps it to center ice. Good setup and a good idea, but it didn't work. Schultz taps it across for DuPont as the Flyers are starting to pick up the momentum they had after game 3. Now it's Brown behind his own net. Almost intercepted by Clark. Intercepted by Jimmy Watson. Here's flat. Rolling puck. Cleared to center ice by the back checking of Ray Como. Here comes Jimmy Watson. Cuts across the line, but it comes back to center ice again as he couldn't penetrate. Off the right wing boards intended for Flett too far in front. Maneri controls behind his own net. Maneri up the right wing for Hextall. Hextall slowed down. Puck rolls to center. Schultz gets by McCreary along the boards. Across the line. Schultz, top of the slot. Backhand pass is blocked out by Arnie Brown. Schultz tries to put it back for Van Impe, but it's intercepted by Hextall. Here's Keith McCreary. McCreary's broken up. Hextall takes the puck across on the right wing. Runs into Jimmy Watson, but offside is called against Atlanta.
Let me give you that information again. But first, 15-17 remaining in the third period. It's 3-2 Atlanta. Back here with 15-17 remaining regulation play. The Flyers have drawn within one after trailing 3-0.
Simone Ole on the faceoff, feeds across to Bob Kelly across the line. Shot hits the backboard and goes into the twine behind the Atlanta net, so the faceoff will be outside the Atlanta blue line as Kelly was the one to propel the puck into the net off the backboards, forcing the stoppage in play.
Flyers charter arrives approximately 12:30. If you plan to meet the team, park in the parking lots and use the free bus to the terminal, the free shuttle bus. Don't park all over. And
Randy Maneri's drive from center ice is deflected to the left wing corner in the Flyer zone behind the net. Van Impe broken up by McDonough. Hextall back to Quinn. Loose puck in front. Jimmy Watson clears to center ice for Terry Crisp. Crisp made a long reach to keep the puck in play. And Pat Quinn's going to be going off for either a high stick or an elbow on Nole. Kelly a backhander, finally controlled by Atlanta. It's going to be for an elbow on Pat Quinn, and the Flyers will have the power play advantage once more.
Well, Quinn picks up a crucial penalty with 14:38 remaining in regulation play. It's 3-2 Atlanta.
Face-off in the circle to the left of Filmere. Flyers on the power play. Clark draws it back to Bladen. Bladen through a screen. Hits Noel Price. Clears right back to Bladen. Bladen puts it to Clark on the right wing corner. He's bumped out the puck, and it's going to be tied up there. Face-off again in that same circle to the left of Filmere.
Quinn picked up his third minor of the series, his first of the night. Atlanta's 8th penalty for elbowing at 5:22, and the Flyers shooting for their second power play goal of the period, which would make this a tie hockey game.
Clark sets a draw against Brian Hextall, who is not observing the face-off rules, and that's why the whistle blew.
Again, the airport is called and asked that Flyer fans don't park all over the place. It just creates headaches and with towaways. So park in the lot and use the shuttle bus.
And can be very expensive for towing charges, too. Okay, Clark back to Bladen. The drive, stopped by Meir. Cleared from in front of him by Arnie Brown across the way to Ray Como, and he rips it down the ice around the Flyer boards. Took a crazy hop, and Perrant just did manage to control it behind the Flyer net. Bladen starts out. Headmans the puck to Bobby Clark across the Atlanta line. Clark goes deep on the left wing corner. Right across in front off the skate of Arnie Brown. Tried to carry it in. Dornhofer controls. Puts it to Clark. Trying to turn the corner back to Dornhofer. Oh, good setup to McLeish, but he couldn't control it. Had the right idea. McLeish battles Hextall for it. And Hextall finds an opening and sends it back to the Flyers corner. Perrant forced to make a routine save. Now Barber moves it up to Dornhofer on the right wing. Back to Barber in the give and go. Across the Atlanta line. Started to take the shot. Was poked off his stick by Price. Clark keeps it in at the point. He's at the left point, out of the right point to Bladen. The drive. Score! The game is all tied up. I don't know if it's Bladen, but at any rate, a case of tasty cake, and this is a brand new hockey game.
I thought that fled through without touching anybody, Don. Found a hole, and Billy Bladen, Tommy Bladen, has scored, and I saw Clark go, and Dornhofer was in there. Maybe Dorney got a piece of it or strained Meir. But at 6:34, the Flyers have tied this. So, Don, in 9 minutes and 12 seconds, they've come back from trailing 3-0, and they've just taken the game away from the Flames.
Bladen gets a goal. It's his second series goal. Clark picks up an assist, and Barber picks up the other assist. Time of the goal, 6:34. Dornhofer setting up a perfect screen in front of goaltender Phil Meir, and we got a brand new hockey game here.
Bladen's second power play goal, too, of the series. The Flyers' fifth.
And for the Flyers now, it's Terry Crisp on with Flett and Lonsbury. That power play goal coming with Pat Quinn in the box for elbowing. Crisp at his own line on the left wing boards, comes back inside of his own zone, now feeds up to Lonsbury. Lonsbury lead pass to Flett on the left wing. Flett shot, knocked down by Meir. Puck loose behind the net. Crisp trying to dig it loose for Flett. Flett trying to pass out front for Lonsbury. He breaks up Romanchuk. Puck comes to the near corner to our right. Pat Quinn's there. Quinn battles Crisp for it. Joining the battle is John Stewart. We've got a face-off coming up again in the circle to the left of Meir.
Flyers have just totally dominated the 7 minutes and 14 seconds played. They carried over the penalty of Bennett near the end of the second period to score one power play goal by Dornhofer at 1:16, then by Bladen at 6:34.
Terry Crisp facing off against Bobby Leader. Controlled by Flett. The drive wide to the glove side of Meir. Romanchuk pops it to center ice. Bouncing puck. Picked up by Jimmy Watson as he comes out of the zone. He's tied up across the way by Romanchuk, and the puck is flipped back in behind the Atlanta net. Pat Quinn starts the rush. Feeds up on the right wing to Maneri. Maneri, his defensive partner, sends it the length of the ice, and it's going to be icing. Jimmy Watson reaches the puck first. Face-off will be down to the right in the Atlanta zone as we're approaching the midway point of tonight's third period of play. At one point, Atlanta led 3-0, and it's been the Flyers ever since.
Let me give you the exact time. 9 minutes and 46 seconds, Don. It took the Flyers to tie the game after the Flames went up at 16:19 of the second period on Como's goal, 3-0.
And with this Flyer comeback, if they still have the momentum going, it's got to have the Flames thinking.
We know one thing, Don. There's got to be at least one more goal tonight before we go home.
On the face-off, Clark to Barber. Top of the slot, a bouncing puck goes wide. Behind the net, Lemieux, tied up by Kindrachuk. Bennett breaks it free. Bennett spins away from the forechecking of Kindrachuk. Now Lemieux in there, and both Lemieux and Kindrachuk go down. Barber moves in to help out. And, we got a traffic jam in that far corner as Bennett pushes Kindrachuk. We've got a Mutt and Jeff situation there as Bennett, I'm sure, is trying to stir anything up that he can get going.
Don, you know, I think the thing that has been indicative tonight, too, the 6 goals, they've all been bullets. Even Dornhofer's tap-in was off a drive from the point by Bladen. But Romanchuk, Lemieux, and Como's goal have all been shot past front. Good goals, as have the Flyers, 3.
Face-off, saved by Meir. Puck loose behind the net. Lemieux up to Bennett. Now to Lysiak. Lysiak off the right wing boards. Comes to center ice. Gets behind Joe Watson. DuPont controls. Richard forechecking for Atlanta. Neither team can afford a mistake in their own zone at this juncture. Joe Watson on the far side inside the Flyer line. Now at center, Jacques Richard holds, flips it back in. A bouncer wide of Perrant. Goes to the left wing corner. Joe Watson winds it up the boards for Selesky, breaking out. Now it's Kindrachuk at center with Barber breaking. And this will be icing. Barber's there first as it's waved off. And finally whistled down as it's tied up against the side of the net by Meir. As it bounced off the Atlanta backboard. Face-off will be in the circle to his right.
But Atlanta has to be shaken. The confidence and the morale. You had 3 goals, and boom, 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 it's away. And they've got to really be back on their heels. And how well they're going to be able to recover is going to be how much moxie they've got. And they've shown it all year. But they know now they're in for a battle for their lives. There's no tomorrow for them.
Clark against Brian Hextall. The draw to DuPont. The drive hits the back of Bill Flett. Flett gets it back to DuPont. DuPont to Schultz. In front. Puck is loose. As Dornhofer was, Clark was tied up. Clark breaks the puck loose again into Flett. Flett, great save, Meir. Flett tried to blast one through him or by him, but Meir stuck out the glove hand, and look what I found.
I think that's just what that save was. A great play by Clark to set up Flett all by himself. He pivoted around, and I think all Meir did was really put the glove down, and Flett shot. Had Flett gone high or low, it's a goal, but he shot right into the glove, and Meir really moved it no more than an inch or two to cover the puck.
Face off now in the circle to Meir's left as Clark forechecks Bob Murray behind the net. Cleared to center ice where it's DuPont for the Flyers. Waits for his teammates to clear. Schultz gets inside of Price. Clark in to help out. Now it's Price behind his own net. Noel Price feeds intended for Como, but it goes to center ice, and DuPont winds it right back in again. Meir lets it go for Price. To the near corner for Murray. Kept in by DuPont. Flyers starting to buzz. Price checked off the puck by Schultz. Shot on goal, and Meir comes up with it again. And if you've noticed, Meir is using the glove more often on low saves. And so with 10:32 left in the third period, the score is Flyers 3, Flames 3.
Back here with 10:32 remaining in regulation play. The game is tied at 3.
And Atlanta wins the faceoff. Quinn behind the net to Maneri as the fans start to buzz here at the Omni. Here's John Stewart across the Flyers line. Lines up and way up back as it caught a piece of Van Imp's stick and deflected out of the area of play. And that went about as high in the Omni as I've seen a puck go this year. Up near the back row.
Thing that the Flyers did so effectively in games 1, 2, and 3, they've done here in the third period, and that's really put the pressure forechecking on the Flames defense trying to move out of their own corners.
Face off in the Flyers zone as McLeish and Leader are both waved out by linesman Neil Armstrong. It's going to be Lonsbury against Romanchuk. In the circle to the right of Bernie Perrant. Flyers trail 3-0, have fought their way back to a 3-3 tie. Kept in by Maneri. Banks went off the left wing boards, goes behind the net. Perrant leaves it there for Van Imp. Kept in. No, Maneri can't keep it in. Romanchuk back to help out. Retreats back to his own line. Dumps it into the Flyer zone. At center ice, Leader drops it back to Maneri. Crosses to the near side for Pat Quinn. Quinn winds it around the Flyer boards. Van Imp will take it behind his own net. Van Imp off the boards for McLeish at center. McLeish has Dornhofer open on the right. Dorney takes the pass. Closing. Oh, great setup for Lonsbury, but Meir read the play and made the save. Stewart across the Flyers line. Leaves the puck, but only McLeish is there to pick it up. He was wrapped up nicely by Tom Bladen. McLeish takes a hard check from Quinn. Here's Lonsbury trying to close, but he's broken up by Meir. Lonsbury trying to get away from Romanchuk. Quinn buries McLeish. Centering pass. Shot by Lonsbury and a stop by Meir, and he ties it up.
And right now the Flames are rattled. Losing the 3-goal lead has shaken them badly. And unless somewhere or other they can get themselves a goal or a break or really tighten up, the Flyers are just going to come at them sooner or later and get that 4th goal. They had swarming around the net, getting the open shots. Fled earlier, was by himself. That time Lonsbury. Dornhofer broke in by himself. And now we've got something over here to the right side. To the left and the rear of Phil Meir with Neil Armstrong, the linesman, and Wally Harris. And I don't know whether it's some structural problem with the glass.
That's where Quinn buried McLeish on that last thumping check, and I think they're checking the glass and the supports to make sure it's solidly in place.
But it must be all right because they've broken off. 9:25 regulation play remaining third period, 3-3 the score. Flyers goals by DuPont, Dornhofer, and Bladen. Dorney and Bladen on the power play here in the third after the Flames had taken a 3-0 lead on goals by Romanchuk, Lemieux, and Como.
Terry Crisp against Lysiak in the Atlanta zone, the circle to the right of Meir, controlled by the Flames. Jean Lemieux banks it off the boards. Bladen's going to get a drive, but it's stopped by the skate of Arnie Brown, and here comes Lysiak. Richard was breaking. Lysiak across the line, rolls one and off Perrant, makes the save. Nolet takes the puck, but loses to Kurt Bennett. A backhanded by Richard, loose in front. Nolet up to Crisp at center ice. Pulls there. Feeds off to Kelly on his off wing, playing on the right side. Pulls up short. Into Nolet. Too deep a rebound for him to get. Crisp puts it around to the near side. Kelly's there for it. Kelly tries to back pass, gives to Bladen instead. Knocked down by the glove hand of Crisp, but here comes Lemieux. Lemieux has one of the 3 Atlanta goals. Goes wide on Bladen, trying to cut it on Perrant. Knocked down in front by DuPont. Has trouble clearing, but ties up Jacques Richard so he can't get his stick on the puck. Now it's Kelly. Up to Nolet on the left wing. And they want a line change as Nolet dumps it into the corner. Crisp, the lone forechecker, as Richard puts it to the far corner, or attempts to, as it hops up over the glass. And we're going to have a face-off in the circle to the left of goaltender Phil Meir.
The new country movement has left behind the corn, folks, but has kept the husk. Sweeten it just a bit, and the result is just sheer eloquent. It's the best brought to you by the one and only Roy Clark, the Academy of Country Music's Entertainer of the Year, 73. Clark will appear at the Spectrum on April 27th at 8 p.m. Tickets at $6.50, $5.50, and $4.50 are on sale now at the Spectrum and Ticketron outlets. Don't miss the man who can do it all, Roy Clark. 1-1 in Toronto in the second period, Boston and the Leafs.
Okay, face-off in the Atlanta zone, controlled by Bob Murray as Kindrachuk goes in after him. Takes Murray off the puck, and now Barber puts it right back behind the Atlanta net. Kindrachuk wrapped up by Murray. Selesky moves in to help out, and we get a stoppage in play as we've got a pair of players from either club, Selesky and Kindrachuk for the Flyers, Murray and Leader for the Flames, and they wrap each other up, forcing a stoppage of play, face-off this time to the right of Meir.
Remember, there is no tie. You keep playing until somebody gets the goal if you end up tied in regulation play.
On the face-off, we get a quick whistle. And, of course, how it works, you play sudden death overtime. You'd go 20 minutes if nothing had been decided then. You'd take a break, and you go 20 more, and you keep going in 20-minute sequences. And the first team that scores is the game winner. On the face-off, Kindrachuk to Barber, but he can't control the puck in the zone. Comes to center. Jimmy Watson holds. Teammates clear the zone. He pops it right back in behind the net. Price up the near boards for Stewart. Checked off the play by Kindrachuk. Moving in again is Selesky. And again we get a stoppage of play in the Atlanta zone. And Gene, you could almost feel the momentum change just as soon as DuPont scored the first Flyer goal. And the game has started momentum-wise, turned around in favor of the Flyers ever since.
Once Dornhofer wrapped in that goal at 1:16 on the power play, it's been all Philadelphia. And the Flames have had an occasional rush, but the play has been all in the Atlanta zone. The shots in this period, 9-3.
Lysiak against Orest Kindrachuk. Kindrachuk gets the draw to Van Impe. Throw a screen, it's wide. Karam to the far boards. Barber checked off the puck by Bennett. Now Kindrachuk centering pass, but it's right on the stick of Richard. To Bennett, has to come back for it as Barber has him tied up. And he gets a stoppage of play just outside the Atlanta blue line on the far boards. And so with 7:37 left in the third period, the score is tied. Flyers 3, Atlanta 3. Face-off just outside the Atlanta line has Clark paired against Brian Hextall. Hextall gives this club veterans experience, and he's been a tough hockey player, and he's hung in there all the way. He's waved out, as is Clark, so it's going to be Dave Schultz against Ray Como. Face-off controlled by the Flames. Pat Quinn on the left inside of his own zone, comes to center. Lead pass to Como, rolls one in on Perron from long range, makes the stick save. DuPont winds it up the left wing, too far for Schultz to reach. Goes to the Flyer backboard once more. And we got a stoppage in play as the Flame shot bounced off the backboards, up into the twine. It comes outside the Flyer blue line.
In the second period at Toronto, it's Boston 2, Toronto 2. No score yet. The game in L.A. between the Blackhawks and Kings will not begin for another half hour.
Face-off just outside the Atlanta line, controlled by the Flames. Long drive by Pat Quinn. It's the Flyers backboard. Karams to Moose DuPont. Flips ahead for Clark. Intends his pass for Flett, but Pat Quinn is there. Across to Maneri. Maneri lobs a high one that hits the backboards on the first hop. Hextall centering pass right on the stick of Joe Watson as McCrary is taken down by Dave Schultz. And I think McCrary knew what he was doing. He had a hold of Schultz's stick.
Dave Schultz picks up the Flyers' 8th penalty of 16 called, and there may be a break at the 13-minute mark as the Flames have a power play, and they've scored one of their 3 goals tonight in that situation. Flyers' first penalty here in the third period, and for Schultz gives them 32 penalty minutes for the series. Don't forget the summer hockey school beginning June 24th. Fred Scherer and Mike Nicola giving you the best of instruction for 1 up to 9 weeks. All the Flyer favorites will be there. Starts June 24th. If you'd like more information, write the Radnor Rink in Villanova or give them a call at 527-1230. Schultz for tripping at the 13-minute mark.
Well, a smart move by Keith McCrary, who's been around the league a few years and knows how to draw penalties at opportune moments. So the Atlanta Flames have the power play advantage. It's going to be.
Thought I was going to say in the last 30 seconds, it looked like the Flames had weathered the storm and tightened up.
Well, let's see what they do on the power play as Clark comes to center on the left wing. Gets by Leader. Clark trying to cut inside, but he's broken up by Lysiak. Now it's Richard. Richard feeds off on the backhand on the near side, but it's intercepted by Barber. Feeds back to his own zone. Joe Watson down the left lane as Willard Norris ducks low to the ice to get out of the way of the clearing pass. Lysiak starting the rush out of his own zone. Comes to center ice. Feeds on the right wing intended for Romanchuk, but it's cleared by Chris. Back in the Atlanta corner. With the puck there is Jean Lemieux. 1:17 left on the penalty to Dave Schultz. Here comes Leader. Romanchuk across the line on the right wing, but it's cleared by Barber back to center ice. Knocked down at center by Lysiak. Back passes to the far side for Lemieux. Over the outstretched glove of Joe Watson to the corner. Look out! DuPont broke up the play as he fanned once and then covered up nicely and broke the puck up to Crisp, and he kept it on its way to the Atlanta backboards. 50 seconds left on the penalty. Almost stolen in front by Terry Crisp. Here's Lysiak to center ice. Score is tied 3-3. Lysiak across the line trying to penetrate. Perrant covers the loose puck with a glove hand. We've got a face-off in the Flyer zone.
5:39 remaining in the third period regulation play. 40 seconds left on Schultz's penalty. There have been 3 power play goals tonight among the 16 penalties. 2 for Philadelphia, 2 for the Flyers, both coming here in the third period. 1 in the second for Lemieux's goal. Remember, the Flames led 3-0 as late as 16:19 of the second period. DuPont scored late in the second, and Dornhofer early in the third, and about 5 minutes later, Bladen. Both those two with the Flyers on the skating edge.
Kurt Bennett on the face-off to the left of Bernie Perrant, as Perrant has noticed something on the ice, piece of debris perhaps, or an imperfection. You know, talking about players that are very adept at drawing penalties, goaltenders are very adept at getting that second breather.
Amazing how many times the suspenders bust on those straps.
All set to go. Big Kurt Bennett against Bobby Clark. Face-off controlled by Atlanta. McCrary tied up and stolen by Jimmy Watson, and he just dumps it off the backhand to center ice. Noel Price to the far side for Maneri. Maneri up to Bennett. Bennett trying to get a shot away, deflected wide by Van Imp. The Karam, a deep one. McCrary shot. Great save. Kept in by Maneri. He's getting a drive away, deflected by Jimmy Watson way up back. Probably 6 or 7 rows from the very back row of the lower deck.
Bernie Perrant just came up with the game's toughest and the most crucial save as he kept the Flames off the board on that power play, as it was really set in front following a series of maneuvers around the net. It broke free, and I think it was Bennett on the turnaround right in close. Oh, McCrary who got the shot. And 19 seconds remaining on the penalty. 5:18 in the third period. The game tied at 3.
Kurt Bennett on the face-off against Bobby Clark. Just to the far side of center of the top of the slot in front of Bernie Perrant. On the face-off. Traffic jam there as they're trying to break the puck free, and they finally do. It's Flint to Van Imp. Off the boards by Price to center ice. Price drops it back in his own zone to the far side for Maneri. 5 seconds left on the penalty to Schultz. Rolls all the way in on Perrant. Van Imp the length of the ice. Schultz has it. Just gets by Schultz, and Maneri catches up to it. Lead pass intended for Bennett. Jimmy Watson will get there before it's icing. Takes it behind his own net up the right wing. Jimmy Watson banks it off the boards. Almost gave it away to John Stewart. Jimmy Watson gets it right back again. Watson trying to cut around Price. Does so. Drops it back to McLeish. McLeish, top of the slot. Feeds into the left wing corner as Lonsbury was breaking for the net. Around to the right wing corner. Bladen trying to keep it in there. He's checked hard off the puck by Stewart. Lonsbury turns the corner, but it's right on the stick of McCrary, and it's going to be icing against the Atlanta Flames. And the fans don't like the maneuvers by the Atlanta Flames right there.
Well, I think the Flyers were getting the edge because they'd been able to make a line change. The Flames in their own zone, penned in, had not, and Bennett and McCrary were weary. And that's the thing that you do. You don't want tired hockey players out there because they're the ones that make the errors that lead to goals. And at this juncture, a goal for either club, perhaps more so for against Atlanta, would be disastrous. 4:14 remaining in regulation play, and the game is tied at 3.
McLeish on with Lonsbury and Dornhofer as the fans start their chant, "Go Flames Go." DuPont on a backhander, knocked down in front and cleared wide by Noel Price. Price off the far boards. DuPont golfs at it. Quinn overskates it. Romanchuk has trouble with it. finally ices it. And again, the faceoff's going to come back in the Atlanta zone. And when you get 2 icings that short span of time, Gene, you got to wonder if the Atlanta Flames aren't pushing the panic button a bit.
Well, I would think they'd have to be concerned with the experience of McLeish and the scoring threat out there, that when in trouble or when you're a little off balance, you just unload it. You don't care where it goes, but you get it out of that zone.
3:54 to go in regulation time. John Stewart trying to work it out the right wing, kept in by DuPont, goes behind the net. Meir leaves it there for Price. The veteran leads John Stewart on the left wing. Stewart, strong skater, good shooter. DuPont takes leader out of the play beautifully, and Lansbury back to scoop up the loose puck. Off the glove hand of McLeish, but kept in the zone. Bladen gets it to center ice. McLeish picks it up there. He's got Dornhofer on the right wing. Dorney takes the pass, tries to feed through a screen, but it's blocked out by Quinn. Leader across, intercepted by Jimmy Watson. Watson trying to get away from Leader at center ice. Picks up speed. Across to Lansbury, but just a half a stride offside is the call by Willard Norris. Face-off back in neutral ice. 3:15 to go in the third period. The score is tied. Flyers 3, Atlanta 3.
Say you need the ball.
Face-off will be outside the Atlanta blue line. Lysiak against Orest Kindrachuk. You recall in the 2 games in Philadelphia, offside Flyers, it was Lysiak against the Clark line, and that's what Fred Sherrill wanted. But, of course, the home coach, in this case Bernie Geoffrion, gets the final say on the line changes. And apparently, Gene, he wants to get Lysiak away from the neutralizing effects of Bobby Clark.
Hodge from Orr at 6:51 of the second. Ullman from Thompson and McKenney for the Leafs at 8:58 to tie it 2-2, Boston and Toronto. That game in Maple Leaf Gardens.
Kindrachuk set to face off against Lysiak just outside the Atlanta line. On the left wing, Jimmy Watson rips one into the right wing corner, goes behind the Atlanta net. Picked up there by Arnie Brown. Out to Lemieux, can't get by Barber, picked up by Kurt Bennett. Bennett, long loping strides, pulls up short behind his own net, starts out the right side to Lemieux. Kindrachuk can't keep the puck in the zone. Now it's Barber, as we're down less than 3 minutes to go in the third period. Barber controlling in the Atlanta zone. Now on the left wing, through a screen, glove save, Meir. And again he goes to that glove for insurance, Gene, instead of making the pad of the stick save.
Well, that way you don't get rebounds, and that's the thing that hurt him in the first 2 games. You have Kindrachuk, the center, but when you have Barber controlling the puck, it's like having a second center. He could, of course, spent much of his junior career at that position and is quite adept at maneuvering.
Face off to the right of Meir. Fake drop, as Willard Norris did not drop the puck, and Kindrachuk and Lysiak both thought he had. Okay, quick whistle on the face-off. We'll try it once more, as Lysiak was almost pulled off his feet. Armstrong is pointing out someone who's violating the circle on the drop of the puck, and we're going to try it once more. 2:41 left in regulation time. Score all tied up 3-3. Flyers trail at 1.3-0 and have come back. Kindrachuk kicks it back. Barber's shot has Lysiak as Meir ducking as the puck goes over the net. Now it's Richard across for Bennett. Broken up by Barber on a good defensive move, and it's tipped into the seats behind the Flyer bench across the way.
It's funny, as we look here, all 3 Flyer goals have originated from the point, from the right point. DuPont scored from there, as did Bladen, and Bladen's shot from that same position was carried home by Dornhofer sitting off the side of the net.
Well, maybe it's forming a pattern, and there could be a weakness there, maybe on the short side. Face-off controlled by Atlanta as Pat Quinn wraps one around the left wing boards behind the Flyer net. Van Imp peels off to Jimmy Watson on the far side, up to Clark. Clark, a bouncing pass ahead for Flett, but Maneri is there first, and is back at center ice where it's Hextall. Broken up by Clark, and Meir up the slot, steers it ahead for Maneri. Maneri tried to thread a needle for McCreary, and the Flyers just knock it back to the Atlanta line. Down to just 2 minutes left in regulation play. Here's Pat Quinn across the line, trying to get a shot away, still controlling. Backhander tapped wide of Perrant. By Perrant. Maneri through a screen, knocked down by Jimmy Watson. He clears the length of the ice and is just wide of Meir. It's going to be icing against the Flyers as Pat Quinn touches up. And we're down to 1:43 left in regulation time. And if you're going to squirm a bit, I suppose now is the time to start.
You're literally, in all intents and purposes, in sudden death now. It would be unlikely that you're going to get 2 goals in this space of time, 1:43. So you'd have to say, Mike, unless you get some unusual shenanigans, the next team that scores in this game is going to wind up the winner.
Mike Nicoluk, the assistant coach, filling in for the ailing Fred Shiro, who flew back to Philadelphia this afternoon. On the faceoff, controlled by Joe Watson behind the Flyer net. Hextall, the lone man waiting out front, feeds up to Clark. Clark just lobs it toward the Atlanta zone. Back checking as Keith McCreary just dumps it back to center ice. Schultz upended inside the Atlanta line. Now it's McLeish to Flett to Schultz on the left wing. But Maneri taps it ahead for McCreary. Here's a one-on-one. Brian Hextall, the trailer is Como. The drive is wide. Rebound comes all the way back to center ice, and here come the Flyers. It's McLeish across the line. McLeish pulls it around one man, drives in, and Meir made the save. The play is still on. He lost his goaltender stick. Good after shot, tipped off the raffle board of Meir. He does not have his stick. Meir is playing without a goaltender stick. Pat Quinn trying to tie it up. Finally does with 52 seconds left as Meir finally got his stick back, and apparently we've got a penalty being called, Gene.
I don't know what. Wally Harris made a very vociferous sign to Dornhofer. Maybe Dorney was looking for a delay of game penalty, and I think all Harris did was make a motion, good stoppage, and go away, and right down there is where the face-off is. Well, there was breathtaking moments at both ends as Hextall had Como on the left side, 2-on-1. Then the Flyers came back, and McLeish, as he pulled Meir, who lost the stick. And then on the second drive from the slot, Dornhofer fired wide when he really had the goaltender at odds. 52 seconds remaining in the third period. 3-3 the score. Face-off in the Atlanta zone.
And it's to the left of Phil Meir, and this is the spot on the ice where all three Flyer goals have come, and again, the chant louder than ever, "Go Flames, go," as the Flyers would love to win it in the final 52 seconds. Here's Van Impe from the point, knocked down in front. McLeish battles for it, picked up now by Lysiak. 45 seconds left in regulation time. Bennett on the right wing, coming out of his own zone. To the left wing, Ray Como takes a check from Dornhofer, and they're battling down there. They win a stoppage in play as Dorney tried to get that puck back inside the Atlanta zone. Okay, there's some debris down on the ice picked up by Willard Norris, the linesman. Rick McLeish cleaning some loose pieces of tape off his stick. And the face-off will be outside the Atlanta line on the Flyers' right wing boards. It's going to be McLeish against Lysiak. And the roar here is deafening. Flyers 3, Atlanta 3. 32 seconds left in regulation time. Puck kept in by Lonsbury. Battles Price for it. Both go down, and Price keeps him down. Arnie Brown takes the centering pass, and here come the Flames. 20 seconds left. Lysiak with Como. Lysiak going wide. Skate save by Brody Perron as he just got a piece of it. Puck loose in front. Lysiak checked off the puck by Jimmy Watson. Picked up by Bennett. Centering pass cleared away by Van Impe. 4 seconds. We're going into sudden death overtime. 2-1. The end of the third period. The score is Flyers 3, Atlanta 3.
There will be a 20-minute...
Oh, no. Jim McKenzie at the other end of the bench and Frank Lewis at the near end. We're all set to go. It's going to be Bobby Clark, Dave Schultz, and Bill Flett for the Flyers, along with Van Impe and Jimmy Watson. For the Atlanta Flames, it's going to be Brian Hextall between Ray Como and Keith McCreary, with Pat Quinn and Randy Maneri. Perron in the goal to our right, Phil Meir in the goal to our left. The game tied 3-3. The first sudden death overtime of the 1974 Stanley Cup playoff series between the Flyers and the Flames. And for the first sudden death overtime action, let's go Flyers and let's go Gene Hart.
Thank you, Dono. Clark back to McCreary, who has it. Flips up ice. Hextall rolling it into the Flyers zone in the far corner off Van Impe. Como was in there charging. Puck kept in at the point. Shot flipped over the net as it was just a wild blast at a loose puck. Near corner, they dig for it, and we're going to have a face-off right there as Hextall tied up Jimmy Watson after just 16 seconds of play. McCreary, Hextall, and Como with Quinn and Maneri. And the answer to the question as to where young Lewis went.
He's gone to get some additional sticks, which apparently are needed in the stick rack across the way, and we got a face-off coming up to the left of Perrant.
Near side of the ice. Hextall, as it rolls through, Perrant sticks it out on the far side to Flett. Tries to hit Clark, blocked off, and Como breaking up to Hextall with a shot. That's deflected up into the end seats off Van Impe's stick, and we'll have a face-off midway between the top of the far side face-off circle and the blue line in Philadelphia zone.
If the first 26 seconds are any criteria, the Flames are trying to carry the momentum back into the Flyers zone. They're charging.
Puck rolls to Jimmy Watson up along the near side, fires at the center ice, and it will be icing as there was nobody there except Maneri now touches up alongside his own net. 35 seconds gone in overtime, and it's 3-3.
And of course, should the Flyers win this one, that'll wind up this series. And then it's the waiting game on the Montreal-New York series, which is tied at 2 games apiece now, with New York coming from behind to beat Montreal in New York in a wild affair, 6-4 final there.
McCrary at the top of the circle waiting for a drawback and that quick shot. Clark, though, beats Hextall on the draw, kicks it himself behind the net to Jimmy Watson. Up to Van Impe along the far side. Hits Flett. Flett rolls it to Clark. Can't get over the center ice red line. It rolls to Clark, or to Van Impe, to Flett at the Flame line. Throw off a skate. That's Clark, as deflects the center ice. Jimmy Watson tried on a gamble to keep it in and challenging it right at the blue line, but couldn't, and we have a Flyer offside.
The Flyers, in comparison, appear a bit more tentative at this stage of the game, with overtime, sudden death being just that, sudden death. They don't want to make any mistakes. The Flames are charging and trying to take the play to the Flyers.
Clark into the zone, is dumped up. Maneri tries to flip it out. It rolls off Schultz's stick to Hextall on the left wing. At the Flyer line, McCrary breaks for the net. Shot is wide, comes all the way out to the near side. Maneri tries to get a shot. Clark flags it down and brings it himself to center. Feeds behind Flett. Quinn gives on the left wing. Como breaking over the line against Schultz. Has trouble. Centers right through the goal mouth. It's too far for Shred. Now Maneri a shot. That's way off the top of the glass in the far corner. Van Impe lifts out the Flett. Fails once to get it out. Fails a second time. Clark comes in to help out and carries it to center ice. Into that far corner. Flett there. First shot just wide. As there was that Karam pass. Schultz taking it out of the corner. A shot. That's wide. Karam's all the way back to Jimmy Watson at the point. Tries to roll it behind the net. Digs it away from McCrary to that far corner off Flett's stick. He digs it out. Wraps it behind the net, and the Flyers changing defensive pairing as Hextall rolls it up past McCrary along the near side and flagging it back in the Flyers zone. Joe Watson is out with DuPont. They have Dornhofer up through into McLeish. Over the line, penetrating. Shot right on. And Muir hangs on to stop play after 2:03 of a scoreless overtime. Well, of course, it has to be a scoreless overtime, or we wouldn't be playing. 3-3 the score.
On that line change, Gene, I counted 10 Flame skaters on the ice at one point, scoring to get off. I'm a bit surprised that Wally Harris didn't spot it, and then, of course, the linesman can spot it and call it too. But too many men on the ice, but they let it go.
All right, the leader, Romanchuk, line out with Stewarted. Flyers go Lansbury, Dornhofer, and McLeish into the corner. Dorney centers off the stick to McLeish right in front, trying to hit Lansbury. Cleared out to the point. DuPont right in front. Dornhofer can't get his stick down. They scramble, and out comes Arnie Brown up too far for leader. Goes the length of the ice, but there'll be no icing. Romanchuk challenges Joe Watson. Tips it. It deflects in front of the net, but the only person there is DuPont, who carries the center. Has trouble with it. Tries to carry it into the zone. Can't. Now it's taken in by McLeish over the line to Lansbury. Circles looking for help. He's got Dornhofer just in front. It sails wide. Joe Watson with a drive. Stopped in front on the skate. McLeish pokes it to the near board. Lansbury tries to keep it in, but it can't. It goes to Noel Price, and he flips to center. Joe Watson waits for his line to clear. Flips it in off Brown's glove. It rolls to Leader. Leader loses it to McLeish. McLeish wants to go behind. Noel Price is taken down. And along the near side, we get Leader with Lansbury, McLeish, and Price dug out by McLeish. Goes behind the net, looking to center. It rolls on a deflection. Back to DuPont at the point. Closing in shot. Trickles wide. Amir falls on the side of the net to stop that puck. And with 16:49 remaining in sudden death overtime, the score is tied at 3.
Say you need the ball.
Back here at the Omni, first sudden death overtime face-off to the left of Phil Muir.
Kendrickchuk digs it out. Shot deflected over the glass. by the stick of Pat Quinn off that scramble to the left of Mir in the face-off circle, and we'll try it again. Lysiak out there with Bennett and Richard, Quinn and Maneri, the Flyers, Kindrechuk, Selesky, Barber, Jimmy Watson, and Van Imp. To the left of Mir, 3:15 gone in overtime. Kindrechuk looking to slide it back to the point, gets it to Selesky, no shot. Still kept in by Kindrechuk, shot! And a great kick save on the pad side by Mir, kept the game alive. Behind the net it goes to Kindrechuk. Centering pass blocked by Quinn. He follows up to Karam in the corner. In there is Richard. Stolen away by Barber. He's dumped up, and coming out is Maneri along the near side. Looking up ice. He hits Lysiak at center. Right wing pass to Bennett. Penetrating into the zone. Jimmy Watson sits on the puck, and play is called as Bennett had his stick right under him trying to shake it free.
Jimmy Watson took the check from Bennett, and in the process took the loose puck and tied it up as he was spun around and dumped. It appeared as though he might have reached out to some degree with a glove hand, but referee Wally Harris is not want to call that one at this point. There was a penalty of that nature called against Gilles Marat in the New York-Montreal game this afternoon. But you see it happen so often. Bobby Orr, especially around his own net in front of his own goaltender, will do that incessantly. And I'd say 8 out of 10 times, 9 out of 10 times, sometimes 10 out of 10 will get away with it.
Lysiak and Bennett having a confab, and it will be Bennett taking the draw against Kindrechuk. Right at the circle. They scramble for it. Two players go down. They tie one another up. Barber comes out with a puck along the near side, fails to get it out. But a Maneri shot blocked by Kindrechuk comes to center, lifts it into the Flames corner. Quinn in there quickly with Selesky. Quinn bumps off Selesky, then Don tries to tie him up and does. Quinn can't get the puck. Barber digs it out. There's Van Imp at the point. Shot! Caught by Mir, and he falls on the rebound as screening in front was Selesky to keep this a tie game after 4:11 of overtime.
And again, the traffic jam in front of Phil Mir. Off the shot from the right point by Van Imp that found its way on net. Selesky was in there. Kindrechuk moved in, and Mir flipped over backwards, getting protection in front from Randy Maneri. Barber, the latecomer. And we're back to live action with the face-off of the Atlanta zone to the left of Phil Mir.
Neil Armstrong and Willard Norris, the linesman, Wally Harris, who's called 16 penalties. They've been evenly divided. Lysiak to Quinn, rolls it around the net to the Maneri on the near side. Maneri up to Bennett. Bennett ridden off the puck. Lysiak follows, gives back to Maneri over middle, through into the Flyer zone, and Van Imp pops it right out, tried to send Barber away. It hopped over his stick to Maneri, through to Lysiak, shallow in the Flyer zone. Bennett follows it up. He's going right on in. Shot! Nice save by Perron as Bennett got the break going one-on-one using Jimmy Watson as the screen, and Jimmy up ice to Kindrechuk. Throw to Barber on the near wing. A shot! Oh, and that was ticketed long side high, and Mir grabbed it with a glove.
That shot looked as though it was off the mark. We'll take a look at it again. It appeared as though Lysiak reached high and a bit wide as Barber unloaded. Perron made the kick save at the Flyer end of the ice, and Jimmy Watson made the rest the other end. And a good rush it was. Up to Kindrechuk, then Barber. One stride, and it appears though it might have been missing the mark, but again, Mir does not want to rebound.
Dupont tries to keep it in, but rolls at the Price, plays cautiously up to Murray, plays out the center ice, but Clark rides off his man, through to Schultz. Schultz can't get by Price, puck taken away by Como. His pass too far for Hextall, and finally it's Dupont down behind Mir. Played over just a shade over 5 minutes of overtime. 3-3 the score. Como retreating behind his net. Bladen out there playing on the near defense. As up the middle comes Hextall. Into the near corner. They play down into the corner. Front lets it for Como. Centering. Shot. Great save. Rebound. It's trickled wide of the corner. As unexcusably, the Flyers gave that puck away up in the corner. And there it just trickled by a possible winning goal. Puck into the zone. Taken away. Clark closing right on in, but the play is offside. Flames came just that close to winning this game moments ago.
Clark very upset at the offside call. Let's go back to Bernie Perron at the Flyer end, as I think it was Perron himself that gave away the puck. He let Como take it instead of challenging him. It came out front. A shot stopped by Perron, and then the rebound by McCrary just did trickle up by that open far post. And as Gene said, it was that close to being a winning goal.
All right, Flett gets the draw. Hits Clark. He's got Schultz going in. Schultz score! Dave Schultz wins the game for a case of pasty cake at 5:40, and the Flyers sweep the series and take it over, Don, while we head downstairs.
Okay, the most unlikely one perhaps to score the sudden death game winner, Dave Schultz, but he did it. And this series is over as the Flyers win it in 4 straight. Assistant coach Mike Nicolak walking out on the ice. Let's look at it again as Schultz walks straight down the pipe, beat Meir low to the stick side for the game winner, 4-3. Now DuPont across the way getting involved with some fans. He should rejoin his teammates, which he is doing now, as they go through the traditional handshaking. Clark picks up another assist, along with Bill Flett. 5:40 sudden death overtime, the time of the goal. Clark and Flett, Bernie Geoffrion shaking hands with the various members of the Flyers, keeping in mind that the Flyers at one point in this game were down 3-0, and they kept clawing their way back to tie it, sudden into sudden death overtime, and finally winning it on a great setup from Clark and Flett. Dave Schultz scoring the game winner. The final score 4-3. Again, Flett on the right wing across the line. Fed Clark. Clark then drew the man, no price, and that sprung Schultz loose as he rode in on Meir, beat him low to the stick side, and it's going to be the biggest thrill of his young hockey lifetime. Flyers have gone to their locker rooms, and a standing ovation, and understandably so by this capacity crowd for their Flames as they reach playoff timber in only their second year of operation.